Another one I've been following is there's a website called the Courage Campaign, and they did a magnificent job just tracking the Prop 8 trial because the Supreme Court said that there couldn't be any cameras. So basically, we're all relying on what was going on with their live blogging to see, what was going on in court, and it was like the gay monkey trial. It was just nuts. Well, the National Organization for Marriage is now really worried about, this one man, one woman thing, and so they've embarked on this bus tour that's going around on the eastern states. There's 19 cities, and there's just this horrible, it's so funny. They get like maybe 40 people showing up at their rallies, and there's just double the number of gay people that are showing up at these things. And this one lady, I think ZJ, who's going to be on the show, did something about this. This lady was sitting there with her kids, and there was a line of men with, gay men, and they were quiet, and they were carrying, colored umbrellas. And she felt like she was persecuted because they were standing there not saying anything in front of her.
I'm terribly sorry. We blocked the view of a bigot. So very sorry. Oh, my gosh. The horror of it all.
Oh, yeah, and they could sit there and say, well, the gays are responsible for, I think the latest one were the bee swarms in California. Some religious group said that it was because of gay people. It's just nuts, the kind of things that they say.
And immodest women caused Katrina as well. Don't forget that.
Oh, that's right. But actually, during Katrina, the one person, the little area of New Orleans that was saved was the gay district. That was the one that wasn't flooded. So, I thought that was kind of funny.
Only slightly.
Yeah. Well, remember last week we talked with this lady that left what's called the Quiverfull movement. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's if you've ever heard of the Duggars, they've got 19 kids and counting. And it's this whole thing where, these religious fundamentalists are saying, God controls the womb and you can't have birth control and you have to keep birthing these little quivers. The quivers are like little arrows. That's the Father's pride, and then you raise them to be members of the army of God. And what came up during that conversation was about how some of these patriarchal, authoritarian Christian beliefs tend to lend themselves to domestic abuse. And so this week there was an interesting study. It came out of Texas Tech. And they were studying undergraduates, so it wasn't the general population at large, but they found a very strong correlation between domestic abuse and fundamental religious beliefs.
Yeah, somehow that just doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
And it's something that we've been covering all along on the show with people who have suffered spiritual abuse or domestic abuse. And speaking of these big families, the Catholic Church is making a renewed effort to get its flock off birth control.
Oh, not again.
Oh, yeah. And most of the Catholics are just like, forget it. We're we're going to use condoms and take the pill, and the Church is trying to tell them not to and to go to this natural family planning.
Method, right?
Oh, no, it's actually this
the
other
one. The message is holy.
Anyway, there's a video of this on God Discussion. If you've got a stomachache and need to puke, you just go there and watch this video because it's intense. It's so bad. Well, and then today, I don't know, for those of you who may not know who he is, this guy's name, Randall Perry. He is the one that formed Operation Rescue back, I think it was like 20 years ago. And they show up at abortion clinics and they do all these protests and, try to block the entranceway so people can't get in. And he just released a press release on the Christian Newswire. And if this does not demonstrate Christian love, I don't know what does. At least right-wing Christian love, not normal Christians. What they're going to do is they're going to have rallies all over the state of South Carolina to either, quote, burn, hang, or beat Lindsay Graham in effigy for his recent vote for Alana Kagan.
Oh, how very Christian of them.
I just read this stuff, and I just think, where am I living? You know, oh my gosh. Well, and then for our final little news wrap-up, you know that Freedom from Religion Foundation had filed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the National Day of Prayer. And
right.
Judge Barbara, what is her name? Gosh, Crabb, C-R-A-B-B. You know, she found in favor of the the Freedom from Religion Foundation that the National Day of Prayer is indeed, unconstitutional. There's no reason for our Congress to declare prayer days. You know, churches can create their own prayer days without the government getting involved. So anyway, the Family Research Council is just in a toot over this, and they released a press release that today saying that they don't think that the Obama administration is going to adequately defend the National Day of Prayer, so they filed a pleading with the court to allow them to appear on behalf of the National Day of Prayer. So this thing, I think, is going to get really ugly, you know, and somebody who was involved in that to some extent was Leah Burton, who's on the phone. Leah, are you on the line here?
Yes, I am. I'm right here. Hi.
Excellently. Hey. Leah has been on the show quite a bit. She is a personal friend of mine, and she is on the board of directors of the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, and she also has an incredible book that's about to come out. Leah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. And yes, on that National Day of Prayer, they are leaving out what they really intend, and it's the National Day of a Christian Dominionist prayer and no other prayer.